Hey, hello guys, welcome, welcome, vandanam, namaskaram. Today we are going to see human reproduction. Okay, so this lesson is very important, and also as you all would have noticed, the toughness of our NEET paper has increased tremendously comparatively with the previous year. So we are also going to discuss a lot of things that is not in our book. Okay, NCERT book we are going to completely discuss without any options or without any other idea. Okay, we have no other option also. We have to discuss NCERT A to Z. Then other than that, we are also going to see some other content also. Okay, so in this lesson we can classify this total lesson into three different events. First event is going to be pre-fertilization, so which is going to be gametogenesis and insemination. Okay, don't worry, we will discuss everything very clearly. I will first say the names and some basic idea. Okay, some basic definitions. What does it mean? Okay, first is gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is the process of formation of gametes. What are gametes? They are sperm and then ovum. Okay, sperm and ovum, the process by which they are being formed. So that process is what's said as gametogenesis, or that process is what called as gametogenesis. Okay, next is insemination. What is insemination? Insemination is by where sperms are being introduced into the female reproductive tract. That means sperms are being introduced into the female reproductive tract by their flow. That means from vagina, then to cervix, then to corpus, then to the fallopian tube. Okay, now coming to the fertilization. Actually, any event that occurs before fertilization is said as pre-fertilization. Okay, and any event that occurs after fertilization is known as post-fertilization events. Okay, so coming to fertilization, this is what very important. Gametogenesis is very easy. Insemination, we will not study anything about it. Actually, there is nothing to study also. Okay, now coming to fertilization. Fertilization is where the sperm and then ovum meets. Okay, they both will be meeting. Okay, next is cleavage. Cleavage is the process by which a zygote is being divided. Okay, and the zygote will be having its growth like this. Okay, 2 to the power of n. It will be having a really good exponential growth. That means first zygote will be single celled. Okay, then after that it will be it will start to divide. So the first division will be giving it. Okay, so the first division. See, the first division will be 2 to the power of n. That means first zygote will be single celled. Okay, then the second it will be double celled, then it will be 4 celled, then it will be 8. Okay, like that will be going on, which is in the formula or in the function of 2 to the power of n. That means here you can see that it is 2 to the power of 0, here it is 2 to the power of 1, here it is 2 to the power of 2, here it is 2 to the power of 3. Like that it will be going on. Okay, so this is what we will be calling it as an exponential growth. Also you can say in mathematics, relations and functions. In that function, one function is going to be exponential function, and amongst that the example that I have given is also 2 to the power of n. And this is actually a formula or a function for exponential function. Okay, now coming to here again. So this sperm and then ovum will be meeting. Then they will be forming zygote. This zygote will be started to divide. Okay, it will start to divide. Now you can see that there are totally 2 cells now. Then after that will be again. Okay, it will be dividing. So the cell. Okay, the cell which has 8 to 16. Okay, which has 8 to 16 cells. Okay, this particular cell is known as morula. Okay, so this stage is what known as morula, and in this morula will have cells. Okay, it will have cells inside this. These 8 to 16 cells are there, right? Amongst that, these cells are actually known as, those 8 to 16 cells are known as blastomeres. Okay, so these 8 to 16 cells are known as blastomeres. Don't worry, we will study about this also. But first we will have to have some basic knowledge. Okay, these all are something I have to say in order to explain all these. Okay, now this morula, okay, will be converted into next stage, which is blastula. Okay, morula, then the blastula, which will be having more than 64 cells. From here you can conclude everything as more than 64 cells. Okay, so this blastula, here this blastula is actually a very easy structure. Okay, and this is also, everything is very easy structure. Okay, so they will be having a membrane, and inside that they will be having cells. Here also there is a membrane, inside that there is cell. You can see that here. Okay, the cell structure will be like this. Here it will be full of cells. Okay, down it will be full of cells. Here, right. Then here, over here, also there will be cells. Okay, and here it will be a cavity, and that cavity will be filled with the fluid. So here this cell is what known as trophoblast, which helps in the formation of chorionic villi. We will discuss everything very clearly, but we will just know some things. Okay, this helps in the formation of chorionic villi, and this is known as blastocele. Okay, so this is known as blastocele, and here you will be having inner mast cells. Okay, here we will be having inner mast cells. Okay, so yeah, blastocoil I can say. Then and that fluid, okay, this fluid is known as blastofluid. See here I have written, right? Blastofluid. Okay, so this fluid is blastofluid, and as I said that trophoblast helps in the formation of chorionic villi, and where this chorionic villi will be giving us placenta. Okay, so that means what? Implantation. Okay, placental formation. Now it is likely where this total cell will be stuck to a part of the uterus. All these basic ideas we will always, not always, we have already studied in our class 10th even, right? So the cell will be going and sticking to a particular place. Okay, so this place is actually mostly it will be fundus. Okay, mostly it will be fundus. I know you don't know what is fundus. If you don't know what is fundus, we will be discussing everything. Just learn this again. I will be saying this all in a very clear cut way. If in case it's like more likely to be a revision video for you all, so this will be kind of gathering all the knowledge towards a narrow path. Okay, so you will be having fundus. This is the place where this cell go and sticks. Okay, so the process by which the embryo, or sorry, the zygote or this blastula goes and being implanted to a particular place is what known as implantation. Okay. Implantation happens in the blastula stage, and the date is going to be approximately 4 to 5 days after fertilization. So 4 to 5 days after fertilization. Yeah. Okay, so 4 to 5 days after fertilization, correct. Then after this you will be having gastrula, and in this gastrula will be formed after 6 to 9 days. Okay, after 6 to 9 days of fertilization. So this will be 4 to 5 days, and this will be 6 to 9 days. And then this is going to be 6 to 9 days. Okay, so here this particular cell is known as gastrula, and here they would have started to be arranged in a tissue wise manner. So tissue wise manner in the sense what? See, here this is the outer layer, this is still more little bit inner layer, this is still more inner layer, and this is a cavity. Okay, this is a cavity. In these three layers, in these three external layers, you will be having cells. Okay, you will be having cells. It will be like likely to be a tissue, and here it is going to be a cavity, and here it is just a hole. Okay, here it is just a hole. Okay, so you will be hearing some external noises. I'm so sorry for that. I cannot cut them, so I can cut them by wearing headsets, but it's very hot here. This is one layer, then this is one layer, then also this is one layer. Okay, so from these three layers only, lots every organ from our body has got developed. Okay, from each layer. For an example, this is known as ectoderm. Okay, and in this middle layer, okay, this middle layer is what known as endoderm, right? Okay, and here it is full of cavity. Okay, here there is nothing, and here there will be a hole. Okay, this is more likely to be a cross section. Here it is known as ectoderm. Here it is known as mesoderm. Here it is known as endoderm. Okay, and then this is a cavity. Okay, and then this is a hole which is known as archentron. No, this cavity is what called as archentron. Okay, this cavity is what called as archentron. And then this is known as blastocoil. No, yeah, blastophore. This is blastophore. Okay, blastophore. And also, I will say, what is a coelom? Coelom can be asked in a few MCQ questions. See, this is what your body will be. Okay, this is what generally we can say like this. Okay, this is what the body is, and here you will be having a small hole. Okay, which is known as gut hole. Okay, this is where all these gut system, the total gut system we have, right? Okay, it has actually the total gut system is kind of hollow. Okay, the stomach, inside stomach it is also hollow. Inside the intestine is also hollow. It has nothing. Okay, but the lining has lots of cells. But inside here, the space is fully unfilled. Okay, so that space is from archentron only. This space is from archentron only, and like that, this is what that space is what this gut hole, and then here you will be having body wall, which is our skin. Okay, body wall. Between this, okay, gut hole and then this body wall, there will be a space. That space is what known as coelom. Okay, that space is what known as coelom. That is what seal have written there. Okay, so that space is what known as coelom. Now, for example, from ectoderm, skin will be developed. Skin will be developed. Then PNS, CNS will be developed. Nails will be developed. Okay, from mesoderm only reproductive organs are developed. Heart is also developed from mesoderm only. Okay, now this blastophore will be converted into two different types. Okay, it can be either mouth or even it can be anus. Okay, it depends upon the creature. Now, yeah, so from this, after that will be just embryogenesis will be taking place. Okay, will be taking place. So you can see that fertilization happens, and cleavage is the process by which it will be developing in the 2 to the power of n. Then implantation, yeah, implantation is what? The process by which the zygote is going to be implanted or going to be anchored to the wall of the uterus. So mostly it will be fundus. Okay, mostly it will be fundus. So that is what we will be saying as implantation. Then we will be having placentation. Placentation is the process by which placenta is being created. Okay, placenta is being created by using tropoplastic cells. Okay, next is gastrulation, the process by which gastrula is being formed. Okay, gastrula. What is gastrula? This cell is what called as gastrula. Okay, this cell, this total cell, I have said, right, those three tissues, mesoderm, ectoderm, endoderm, that cell, the total cell is what known as gastrula. This cell is known as blastula. This cell is known as morula. Okay, and there is also blastocyst. Okay, you can take it as both are same. Okay, you can take it as both are same. Actually, blastula will not have the cavity. Blastocyst will be having this cavity. Okay, blastocyst will be having this cavity. More likely, blastula will be like this. Okay, blastula will be like this, but the blastocyst will have this. Okay, but the blastocyst will have this cavity. Okay, but you can also take them as same. Now next is gastrulation. Okay, so what is this gastrulation? That is the process by which gastrula is being formed. Next is organogenesis. From gastrula, I said that different organs are being formed. For example, skin, which is the largest organ in our body. Okay, then you will be having CNS, PNS. Okay, then like that you will be forming a lot of organs are being formed. And note this one point, it can be asked also as an MCQ question, that is, from which layer of gastrula the reproductive tract in human beings are being created. That is mesoderm, as I said. Okay, next is paturation. Paturation is the process by which mother is giving birth. Okay, it is the terminology which is used for giving birth. Next is lactation, is by where mother will be giving milk to the infant or to the baby. Okay, well, for infant we won't say it as milk, we will be saying it as colostrum. Then after that it will be milk. So see here I have written that, we have written there bones, muscles, and reproductive part. Okay, these are formed from the mesoderm, and then you can see here CNS, PNS, skin, nail, everything is being created from the ectoderm. Okay, then you will be having gastrulation is from bastilla to gastrula, it is being converted. It is being evolved. Okay, it is evolving. Now, coming to some basic properties of reproduction, you can see that, okay, well, in humans who are unisexual organisms, okay, we are unisexual organisms, then the sexual reproduction, yeah, in unisexual, here what are we? In unisexual organisms, sexual reproduction is what happening. Then also from this male and female reproductive part is being converted, it is being taken from the mesoderm only. From mesoderm only, these two organs have been developed. Okay, then you are having internal fertilization. So internal fertilization is where fertilization is happening inside the body. Okay, but IVF is not something that is completely artificial. Naturally, when you are talking, you can say that fertilization is internal. Next, you are having viviparous. Viviparous is oviparous and viviparous, then oviviparous. Okay, like that we are having three different categories. I will just say first what is viviparous. Viviparous is where no egg, okay, there won't be any egg at all. Oviparous, in sense, there will be an eggshell where that particular organism will be laying egg, and it will be keeping that egg very safely. It will be giving the warmth condition that egg requires. Okay, it will be incubating that egg. Then that egg will be converted into the respective offspring. Okay, here for viviparous, directly the child is being born. Okay, there is no egg at all. From mother, if the child is coming out now, then it will be just an egg one. Okay, but for egg it's not like that. It has to lay egg, then it has to incubate, then only the egg one will be produced. Okay, and one important fact that I can say is, a lot of people are thinking that every snake lays egg. No, there are some particular snakes which does not lay egg at all. They will be directly giving birth to young ones, okay, to offsprings. One of the most important example is going to be constrictive boas. Okay, it is not something we have. Okay, constrictive boas is an example where snakes will lay their offsprings like that. They will not lay egg. Instead of that, they will be giving paturation. Okay, they will be doing paturation. Okay, now we are going to see, this human reproduction is there, right? It is also a type of life process. Okay, human reproduction is also a life process only. Totally you are having 12 life processes. Amongst them 11 are very, very important, and 12 is something that is more likely to be an optional process, which is going to be your reproductive system. Okay, which is going to be your reproductive system. Like life processes, there are many life processes. For that 12 important systems are there. Okay, for that 12 important systems are there. Okay, amongst them 11 is very, very, very essential. Okay, without that you cannot at all live, but this one is there, right? Without doing that also you can live. That means these 11 functions are very important. Those 11 systems functions are very important for the survivability, but this 12th, the last one, which is our reproductive system, even without doing reproductions function, we can survive. Okay, so this is what one amazing character that we have. Okay, so you can see that 11 essential systems are going to be skeletal system, endocrine system, exocrine system, respiratory system, digestive system, excretory system, muscular system, immune system. Okay, then you are having integumentary system, then nervous system, and also we are having circulatory system. I have already written up. No, I'm not sure. So we are having cardiovascular system, which is also known as circulatory system. Okay, and at last but not the least, which is our reproductive system. Okay. Now we are going into the male reproductive part. So as I said that the NEET paper has got tremendously harder and harder and harder. Okay, it has got really very hard. So we have to also know that much amount of things. So about an NCERT, that means still more, little bit more we are going to learn. Okay, we have complete NCERT, and then other than that we are also going to learn some things. Okay, first is in male reproductive system, first very, very important thing that we are going to see here is testis. Okay, so this testis is homologous to ovary. Okay, so homologous in sense the function of testis in male is similar to the function of ovary in the female. Okay, testis will also produce some hormones, ovary will be also producing some hormones, but testis hormone and ovary hormone will not be same. For testis, how it works for male, like that, for ovary it will be working for the female. Okay, for an example here testosterone, then here you will be having estrogen. Okay, here we will be having estrogen. Progesterone, then androgen, like that you will be having hormones. Okay, and also here it is doing gametogenesis, here also it will be doing gametogenesis only. So that is what, any process that happens in male, that same process will be happening in female, but with different organs and with different products and with different reactants, but the process name is same only. Okay, but their subject is same only, their subjective opinion or their subjective narrow path is same only. Okay, now next what we are going to see is this testis is being covered. Okay, this testis is being covered with a sac-like structure that is called as scrotum. Okay, the scrotum's main function is to give the optimum temperature to the testis. Okay, so testis wants some optimum temperature. That temperature is actually 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lesser than the body temperature. Generally, if you check, body temperature will be 37 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius. That is the range. So it should be lesser than that. That means it will be 35 degrees Celsius to 35.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, it's like that only. Okay, and also this scrotum is something which will be shrinking and it will be becoming big based on the temperature, based on the climate that is around you. Okay, on the surroundings. For an example, if it is very cold, then it has to be what? The total temperature should not be dropped out, because see, this testis is actually outside the body. Okay, testis is outside the body. So since it is outside the body, it is more likely to be connected to the surroundings comparatively with other vital organs, which is heart. Okay, like that we are having other vital organs, lungs, heart, like that, right? So, but they will be in a constant temperature, which is body temperature. But this testis is not like that. So what will be doing is the testis will be shrinking. Okay, when the climate is very cold. Then when the climate is very hot, it will become big. Okay, it will enlarge. For that shrinking and for that enlargement, what is responsible is actually Darto's muscle. Okay, Darto's muscle is the muscle which helps scrotum in order to function as a thermoregulator. Okay, thermoregulator function is done by the scrotum, and which is being helped by the Darto's muscle. Okay, and this scrotum is being connected to the abdomen. Okay, see, one important fact is that when a child is in her, when a male child, okay, when a male infant, or when a, we cannot say child, okay, when a male fetus is inside the mother's sac, okay, inside the mother's uterus, okay, that will be the scrotum, the testis will be inside the abdomen. When that mother undergoes maturation only, that will be coming out of the abdomen. Okay, so this scrotum and then this abdomen is being connected. Okay, scrotum and then this abdominal cavity is being connected by a fibrous cord that is known as gubernaculum. Okay, and that connection canal is there, right? That connection canal is what? Inguinal canal. I am so sorry with the pronunciation. I have not checked the pronunciation, but according to the spelling and according to my weak brain, that is what it is saying, which is inguinal canal. Okay, so where the scrotum and abdominal cavity is being connected, and that particular connection is done by a fibrous cord, which is gubernaculum. Okay, and this is forming a canal. That canal is what known as inguinal canal. Okay, so note this. Okay, next is cremaster muscle. What is cremaster muscle? Cremaster muscle is what essential for the elevation. Okay, for the elevation of testis. Testis elevation in sense movement of testis. Okay, for that cremaster muscle is what responsible. Okay, all these are muscles. Okay, all these are muscles which is not in our NCERT. Okay, now you see this testis. Okay, since we are dealing with testis, we will cover every part of testis, then we will be going to other parts. Then at last, lot of points are there in our NCERT also. We will check one by one. Okay, some points are mixed from NCERT and from others. Okay, some points are kept separate. See, testis is covered by, not testis is covered by, testis is actually of 3 different layers. Okay, testis is actually of 3 different layers. One is, see, here you can see that prefix is same, tunica, 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 which represents testis. Okay, tunica represents here testis outer parts. Okay, so which is the first the outermost part is going to be tunica vaginalis, then it is going to be tunica albuginea, then it is going to be tunica vasculosa. One important point that I can say is this tunica albuginea is there, right? That is also present in ovary. Okay, the same muscle is, the same layer is present in the ovary also. Okay, this is one thing that you can notice. Then in female reproductive path, Okay, that I will be saying there. Okay, so this tunica vaginalis is actually the outermost part. Okay, tunica vaginalis is the outermost part which is being likely to be connected with the peritoneum. Okay, peritoneum is also skin layer like. Okay, then next we are having tunica albuginea, which is the middle layer, which is actually fibrous. Okay, which is fibrous. Next is tunica vasculosa. What is tunica vasculosa? It is the innermost layer, and the innermost layer will be not only here, literally everywhere. Innermost layer will be having blood vessels. Okay. Now coming to the size and measurement of testis, it is generally like, see, how will I remember this is, so it is what, 2 to 3, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 to 15, like this you can keep 2, 3, 4, 5, then 10 to 15. Okay, then 10 to 15. So which is, this is actually going to be your 2 to 3 is going to be your breadth. Okay, then your 4 to 5 is going to be your length. Then everything is in centimeters, and then this 10 to 15 is going to be your weight. So which is in the gram. So BLW. Okay, BLW. That is how I will be keeping in my brain. Okay, BLW. Like BMW, it is BLW. Okay, so next what you are having different tubules in our testes. Okay, we are having different tubules in our testes. Okay, so the basic tubule is going to be tubuli recti. Okay, the basic tubule is going to be tubuli recti. When 20 to 30 tubules are being connected together, okay, when they are forming like a network like structure, or when they are not network, just being connected together, then it will be forming seminiferous tubule. Okay, then it will be forming seminiferous tubule. When this seminiferous tubule is actually forming a network, okay, when this seminiferous tubule is actually forming a network, then it will be forming you vasa efferentia. Okay, vasa efferentia, which is actually a ciliated efferent duct. Okay, which is ciliated efferent duct. Okay, see, listen here. I have to also say this one important point, that is, if testis is there, okay, testis is there, this testis will be divided into many lobules. Okay, many lobules, which will be likely to be 200 to 250 lobules, and these lobules are being separated. Lobules, now you can take it as segments. Okay, these segments are separated by a special muscle which is called as mediastinum. Okay, mediastinum. Mediastinum is the muscle that actually separates our testis into 200 to 250. See, mediastinum. Okay, which is a septa, and that is in the testis, that separates this 200 to 250. Okay, lobules. Now, what we are going to see next is going to be, again, in male even we are having lots. We will be discussing them. Okay. Comparatively, when we are going hormones, okay, when you are checking about hormones, hormones is less for males, okay, but for females it is more. And here for males, lots of things is there to be discussed, okay, but for females that much is not there. But if we, but in ovary we have lots of things to discuss. Okay, oogenesis is bigger than spermatogenesis. Okay, next is epididymis. Okay, next is epididymis. What is epididymis? Epididymis, you put S down and we will correct it. See, epididymis is actually something that is, wait, I have even drawn. See, I can draw, okay. Here it is. See here, I know I'm not such a good artist on board, okay, I'm very weak. Generally, even drawing in paper, it will be like that, okay, and here it will be more awful. So, okay, something I've tried. Here you can see that this is where the testis is. Okay, this is the testis is, which has tubule recti. They will be becoming together, which will be forming seminiferous tubule, and that will be forming a network, which will be giving you vasa efferentia. These will be combining, and this will be giving you vas difference. Okay, this is not epididymis. Okay, it will be all giving you epididymis, which will be giving you vas difference. Okay, epididymis, then only vas difference. Since here vasa, you cannot put there also vasa. Vas efferentia, then epididymis, then maybe you will be getting vas difference. Okay, vas difference is where sterilization is taking place. Okay, we will be discussing also that one. Urectomy we have. Okay, like that we are having a lot of things. We will be discussing about that also. Okay, so like that you can check here this total epididymis. Okay, this total epididymis, okay, is being classified into three different parts. Okay, and this epididymis is actually very specialized thing, because you can see that this epididymis is highly coiled. Okay, it is a single narrow tube and which is 6 meters long. Imagine 6 meters long. But it is very small, and it is being highly coiled. That is why it is 6 meters long. Okay, and here you can see in rabbit and rats, mainly in rabbits and rats, you can class, even I have a rat in my home which is hamster. Okay, so I can classify this total epididymis into three different parts. Okay, one is going to be carpet epididymis, carpus epididymis, then carda epididymis. Carpus, note, okay, carpus, you have to note this carpus, and here also I said that you have to note this tunica albuginea. Note these words, some words I'll be saying, okay, and also note this tunica vasculosa, because in future discussing also we will be discussing same terminologies, and that will be giving all of us a better understanding. Okay, this carpet epididymis, carpus epididymis, then carda epididymis. Okay, so this carda epididymis is the lowermost part. Okay, this is the lowermost part. From here only, this lowermost part, this is the tail area of epididymis. So from this lowermost part only, the next layer, which is vas deferens, is being formed. Many persons think that how is this possible? From carpet epididymis only it should be forming. Now, because what many of us is thinking that, okay, what many of us are thinking is, oh god, my English is becoming very awful. Okay, so here you are having testes. Okay, so this will be having a layer. Okay, this is what you can say. You can call it as, okay, I know I'm very good artist. I'm not a drawer. So here you can say that this is the testis. Okay, this is the testis, and hereby you are having vas efferentia. Epididymis you are having. Oh god. Yeah, epididymis. Okay, so this epididymis is from this epididymis only the next layer is coming. Okay, from this epididymis only next layer is coming. From this epididymis only next layer is coming. The next layer, which is going to be vas deferens. Okay, which is going to be vas deferens. Where is this from? Vas deferens, which comes from the carda epididymis, which is the lowermost part. This is carda epididymis, this is carpus epididymis, this is carpet epididymis. Okay, so from this is what the lowermost part is. From this only vas deferens is arising. From lower part only. Do not think from here only it is coming. Okay, it's wrong. From lower part only it is coming. Very famous doubt. Okay. Next is this part is where the sperm will be stored for a long period of time. It is likely to survive for 4 weeks here. Okay, likely to survive here 4 weeks, and in case sperms are being ejaculated from the penis, then it will be surviving for 42 to 72 hours. Okay, 74. Okay, 42 to 74. 72 only. Yeah, 72 hours. 42 to 48. 48 to 72 hours. Okay. Okay. So these this much amount of time sperm can survive outside the body. Okay, and also if in case here also the sperms are not being ejaculated. Okay, then in that case the walls of this epididymis will absorb them. That will be this will be disintegrated. The sperms will be disintegrated. Then it will be absorbed. Okay. Now you can say that for no insemination for a long time will be leading to absorption of sperms by the wall of epididymis. Okay, and here 4 weeks it can be stored, and other than that you are having here, this is the place where storage of sperm takes place and also activation of sperm takes place. Okay, here it will be giving you some seminal fluid also, contribution of seminal fluid also takes place here. Next is vas deferens. What is vas deferens? This is something that arises from the carda epididymis. From carda epididymis you are getting this, which is the secondary sperm storage site. Okay, this is the secondary sperm storage site, and this is actually ascending. Vas deferens, as I said that testis will be inside the abdomen when the fetus is inside the mother's corpus or mother's uterus. Okay, so you can see that ascending to abdominal cavity, ascending to the abdomen. Okay, and this testis is being connected by actually an inguinal canal, which is actually known as gubernaculum. This is the same connection only. Gubernaculum, the fibrous cord, is what connecting the testis to the abdomen, and then this or also you can take it as scrotum. Okay, scrotum and testis is also being connected. Okay, next is this vas difference will be actually seminal vesicles. You will be having, yeah, seminal vesicles we have to discuss. Vasectomy is done in vas difference only. Okay, so vasectomy is done in vas difference only. So that means they will be cutting this vas difference and they will be tying to itself. Okay, next is seminal vesicles. Yeah, next after this is we are going to discuss with seminal vesicle, which is the first thing that we are going to discuss. Then after that we are going to discuss prostate gland, then bulbourethral gland, or also known as Cowper's gland. Okay, so seminal vesicles will be ejaculating 70 to 60% of semen. Okay, it is what giving us 70 to 60% of semen, and also it has, okay, very important materials such as fructokinase, proteins, fructose and citrate. Okay, fructose, proteins, like that. It is having very important point. You can see that fructose is to give energy for the sperms. Okay, and this fructose, sperms cannot just like that, they cannot just eat this fructose, they have to break this fructose. So for breaking fructose they want fructokinase. Okay, so this fructose is what the energy source is. Next is, you can see here, this is what the total network structure is. Okay, first is tubule recti, which will be giving us seminiferous tubule. Then this seminiferous tubule will be giving us vas efferentia, which is next to vas difference, which will be actually of 3 different layers. Okay, first is caput, which is the topmost layer. Next is carpus, which is little bit bottom layer. Then this is the bottommost layer, which is carda. From this only vas difference arises. From this you'll be having seminal vesicles. So next you'll be having ejaculatory duct, which is urethra. Okay, so this urethra will be having first prostate gland, then it will be having bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland, then it will be having foreskin. Okay, foreskin, and after that you will be having the urethral meatus. Okay, urethral meatus. Yeah, urethral meatus you will be having. Okay, so ejaculatory duct. What is ejaculatory duct? Which is vas difference plus seminal vesicle. Okay, these two is what known as ejaculatory duct, where a duct means the space, or you can take it as pathway, a pathway for sperms to move. Okay, this is the pathway for sperms to move, and this is what your structure is going to be. You can draw in your examination. It will be more neater. Okay, more neater or more beautiful than this. You can see here you are having foreskin. Okay, this is what known as foreskin. Then this is what known as urethral meatus. Okay, then yeah. Now we have, next is urethra. Okay, so what is this urethra? Urethra is actually uppermost. Okay, which is this is, see, this urethra, above this urethra we will be having prostate gland, then bulbourethral gland. Okay, this is actually, urethra is membranous, and also it is having the penile. Okay, next is you will be discussing about prostate gland. What is prostate gland? It is the gland which is actually chestnut like shaped. Okay, this is chestnut shaped. Then also it will be producing odorous, that means smelly alkaline fluid. Okay, it will be producing smelly alkaline fluid. Okay, so it is going to give you smelly alkaline fluid. Then you will be having bulbourethral gland. What is bulbourethral gland? This is actually which is located now here, urethra, then above that only you will be having bulbourethral gland. Still more away you will be having prostate gland. I'll be showing you. This is what known as prostate gland. Then you'll be having here bulbourethral. Okay, bulbourethral gland. See, and this bulbourethral gland will be functioning as neutralizing agent. It will be neutralizing the urethra. Okay, it will be neutralizing the urethra. See here, I said, right, after ejaculation of sperms, it can only survive for 72 to 48 hours. Okay, next is semen. Semen is actually 3 to 5 milliliters. It will be 3 to 5 milliliters, which has 1 ml. Okay, 1 ml of semen itself will be containing 100 millions. Okay, 100 millions of sperms. That means how much can an average amount of semen will have? Okay, how much sperms can an average semen can have, it will be having 300 million to 500 million, and the sperms are actually, if in case, okay, in 1 million, okay, in 1 million, if in case sperms are less than 20 million, okay, then it is known as infertility, okay, then it is known as infertility. Then absence of sperm, there is no absence at all, okay, our sperm count is very less, or there is no sperm, okay, then this particular condition is said as zoospermia, okay, zoospermia. Now, okay, amongst this, I don't know how much is in our NCERT, that I forgot, but this is completely in our NCERT, which is, see, you can describe this total thing, okay, in our testis itself, okay, in our testis itself, the formation of testis, all these are very important. Okay, so inside the testis, okay, so inside the seminiferous, testis will be having seminiferous tubule, tubular recti will be forming seminiferous tubule, as I said, okay, so inside this seminiferous tubule, wait, I'll say, this is what testis is, okay, seminiferous tubules will be there, and between the seminiferous tubule there will be some space, right, that space is what known as interstitial space, okay, that space is known as interstitial space. So, if in case any cell is there, okay, if in case there is a cell that is between this, seminiferous tubule, then that is known as interstitial cells, or also known as Leydig cells, okay, or also known as Leydig cells. These are named, okay, interstitial cell is actually something that is named after the place where it is located. Leydig cell is its own name, okay. Now you can see that inside the seminiferous tubule, it is actually having two different cells. One is Sertoli cells, next is male germ cells, okay, one is Sertoli cell, then after that you are having male germ cell. Okay, this male germ cell will be forming sperms. Okay, male germ cells will be forming sperms. This Sertoli cells will be actually giving nutrients to this male germ cells so that these male germ cells can form sperms. Okay. Now, coming to outside the seminiferous tubule, which is in the interstitial space. Okay, since there is okay, here you are having small blood vessels, and also you will be having, okay, you will be having interstitial cells or Leydig cells, okay, Leydig cells or interstitial cells, where LH hormone, okay, I'll be saying all those, okay, LH hormone will be acting here only, or on here you will be having, it will be producing ADP. We will be discussing about them during spermatogenesis, okay, during spermatogenesis, androgen produces here only. So here I have said that to note, okay, I said to note this one, right. Tunica vasculosa. Tunica vasculosa is the innermost layer, which is blood vessels. Okay, and here the blood vessels. Okay, so both are linked. Now, after that, what we are going to see is next is the female reproductive part. Okay, here we don't have that much to discuss. Okay, here it is far less than there. Okay, and very interesting part comes after here. Okay, so first, very important part in the female reproductive part is the ovary. So what does ovary do? What does ovary do? First, we'll come here. See, the ovary will be actually producing ovum and also ovarian hormones. Okay, ovarian hormones, which are estrogen and then progesterone. Okay, estrogen and progesterone. Now, if you are removing ovary, then that particular step is known as oorectomy. Okay, that particular project or that particular mission or that particular project or mission or operation is known as oorectomy. Then ovary is actually on either side of the abdomen. Okay, like there are two ovaries. Okay, there are totally two ovaries, and also there are totally two testes. Okay, now this ovary is being connected to the pelvic wall. Uterus. Sorry, this uterus and then this pelvic. Okay, this uterus and then this pelvis is being connected together. Okay, pelvic wall. Okay, not pelvis. Pelvic wall and then this uterus is being connected together by a ligament which is known as mesovarian. They can ask you whether mesovarian is a ligament or tendon or what it is. Okay, then you have to write it as ligament. Now you are having here ovary. So ovary is actually covered with cuboidal epithelium, which is known as germinal epithelium. Okay, which is known as germinal epithelium, and this is a misnomer. Okay, this I will be saying in the cross section or in the histology of ovary. In the histology of ovary, I will be saying this. Okay, next is ovary. See, this ovary is actually of two different parts, which is cortex and then medulla. Cortex is the outer part of the ovary, and medulla is the inner part. I know nothing makes sense. Okay, this and this does not make any sense. I'll be saying that. Okay, so till here if it is clear, then it's okay. Till here if it is clear, then it's okay. Here we'll be again discussing this. Okay, And also over there in the male reproductive part also, you'll be having here and there a lot of doubts. That also we will be seeing later. Okay, so don't worry, everything will be clear. Okay, everything will be clear. Now here you are having, after uterus you are having fallopian tube. Fallopian tube is actually of many different layers. First is fimbria you are having, then you are having infundibulum, then you are having ampulla, then you are having isthmus. Okay, so you are having here fimbriae, okay, then infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. Okay, this should be the first, then this, then this, then this. Okay, and ampullary isthmic junction is the place. Okay, I will say, see, from the ovary. Okay, so from the ovary. Okay, imagine that this is what the ovary is. Okay, from here, ovum or secondary we said, okay, ovum I will keep it as, okay, since it will be kind of confusing. Ovum will be collected, okay, by the fimbriae. Okay, here you will be having fimbriae. So this fimbriae will be collecting this ovum, then it will be passing. Okay, then this, it will be having cilia here at all, so that this will be going. Okay, this will be passing. It will take approximately 3 to 4 days to cross this fallopian tube. Okay, then it will be coming to the uterus. Okay, then it will be coming to the uterus. Okay, so you will be having here, okay, which is the uterus. Here in the fallopian tube itself, the sperm and then this ovum should be meeting. Okay, this ovum and then the sperm should be meeting in the fallopian tube. Okay, and as I said that this fallopian tube is actually of different layers. First is fimbriae. Fimbriae does the collection of ovum. Okay, it collects the ovum. Then it passes. Here you are having cells. Okay, here it passes. Okay, and that is actually done by the cilia. Okay, so here you are having cilia and it will be collecting that. Okay, cilia here at all it will be there. Okay, and cilia will be actually moving this ovum. Okay, and collection is done by the fimbriae. And here this next part, after this fimbriae you are having infundibulum, then you are having ampulla, then you are having isthmus. Okay, then it will be coming here, and here in the top of the ovary you are having fundus. Okay, here you are having fundus. Okay, here you are having fundus. Next is you are having hystera or uterus or womb. You are having hystera, uterus or womb, or also in this, okay, I said to note that corpus, right? I said to note that tunica, corpus tunica, tunica corpus, corpus tunica, tunica corpus, no, not tunica. What is that? Oh god, my brain is very weak. Corpus epididymis, yeah, corpus epididymis, I will say. See, the nomenclature is actually very close with each other. That means over there, after testis, what you are having, after, leave all those tubulars, okay, all those tubules. After testis, you are having epididymis, right? Okay, vasa efferentia is also connected to testis only, but after that you are having epididymis. So like that, after fallopian tube, what you are having is, you are having uterus. Here uterus is actually of 3 different layers. Here uterus is actually of 3 different things. First is upper part, which is fundus. Then next is middle part, which is also corpus. Here also you are having middle part as corpus mainly. Then you are having narrow cervix, lower narrow cervix. Okay, lower narrow cervix. Narrow, not like this it will be. Okay. So, like that, see, first of all, uterus. Uterus is actually single for one girl, one only. Okay, then it will be inverted pear-like shaped. Okay, it will be inverted pear-shaped. Then you are, see, removal of uterus is known as hysterectomy. Removal of ovary is known as oophorectomy. Rectum means removal. Rectum means removal. Hysteria, yeah. Hystra is actually, uterus is also known as hystra. Okay. Next is vagina. Vagina is actually something that extends from the cervix. Okay, from see, first ovary you will be having, then from that you will be having fallopian tube, then from fallopian tube you will be having, not you, girls will be having, okay, a female will be having. So ovary, so next from ovary, then after that ovary it will be having fallopian tube. So that fallopian tube, after that they will be having uterus, then after that they will be having cervix, then after that they will be having vagina. So this vagina is actually the thing that receives penis during copulation or during coitus. Okay, so this vagina is actually non-keratinized, it is stratified, and also it is squamous epithelium. Okay, it is non-keratinized, it is stratified, and also it is squamous epithelium. Now, coming to this, okay, we have discussed, we will discuss this uterus first fully, then we will be coming to vagina. So uterus is actually what it is, the uppermost, see, this uterus will be like this. Oh, I have not drawn a, yeah. So I will just have a rough diagram. We will just draw a rough diagram. White color, little bit in pencil. Here also white color, little bit in pencil. I know you are hearing some sort of song, I think. Okay, you know what? Wait. Okay. So I found one of the most best image. Okay, from this we can learn lots of things. Okay. So first of all, mesovarian. What is mesovarian? I said that it connects the ovary and then the uterus. Okay, the pelvic. Wait. It connects ovary only. Here it should be ovary. The song is very amazing. There is a singer nearby my home. Okay, so pelvic wall and then ovary. Okay, so here you can see that it is the female reproductive part. See, so this is what that ligament is. This is what that ligament is. Okay, this is what the ligament is, which is the ovarian ligament. Okay, and here the ovarian ligament is what the ligament, or you can say it as ovarian ligament, or also known as mesovarian. Okay, mesovarian. Okay, so mesovarian. Now you are having here only ovary. See there even it is written. Okay, ovary. Then after that you are having here fimbria. This is what the fimbria is. Then you are having here infundibulum. Okay, here everything is present. Here actually it is more likely symmetric. Okay, here it is symmetric. Okay, whatever is present here, here also is present. So here it is what fimbria. Okay, then here it is infundibulum. Fundibulum. Then ampulla. Then isthmus. Wait. Fimbria, yeah, okay. Then isthmus. So this place, okay, this junction, okay, here only mostly fertilization will be happening. Okay, and here this is where the fundus. Okay, so this is what the fundus is. Here only implantation will be happening. Okay, mostly fundus is the part where implantation will be happening. From here, okay, from here only it will be just thinking. Okay, then from here it will be just forming lots of extra embryonic layers. We'll be discussing about also extra embryonic layer. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so from this, okay, then enlargement. Okay, then the uterus will be enlarged. Cervical canal, myometrium, fimbria, mesovarian, everything is there. See, and then this is what the corpus. This is what the corpus. Okay, this is what the corpus is. So this corpus is actually of three different layers. Okay, the external part. Okay, which is external. Now you can write it as epi or peri. Okay, external, epi or peri. It depends upon the place. Okay, here it is peri. Here it is peri. Do not write epi. Write it as peri. Okay, perimetrium. Then little bit more inside. Now then it is middle. So we have to start that letter with myo or meso. Okay, but here it is myo only. See, what I'm trying to say is the nomenclature of parts is actually different for each and every place. Okay, for an example, in middle now you can write it as meso, myo. Okay, it depends upon the place. For an example, here the very opposite word is myo. That is why you have to write it as myo. If you are writing here as mesometrium, then that is wrong. Myometrium is what very opt. Here perimetrium, then endometrium. Okay, then you are having inner mucosa, then endometrium. Okay, endo only is there for inside. Okay, then after that what you are having is, next you will be having, not you, females will be having cervix. Okay, then they will be having cervix, then there will be vagina, and then okay, and then this is what known as cervical canal. Okay, so this is what known as cervical canal. Okay, so coming to uterus itself, that is what I said. Okay, middle corpus. Yeah, I think I said corpus. This is what corpus. Okay, so this is what corpus is. This corpus is actually, okay, this corpus is actually narrow, lower and narrow. See, this corpus is actually of three different types, as I said that. The innermost layer is what known as endometrium, and which is made up of inner epithelial tissues, connective tissues, okay, inner epithelial tissues and connective tissues, which will be having tubular glands, and they will be having screw-like blood vessels. It is also having screw-like blood vessels. It will be having, yeah, screw-like blood vessels. And endometrium, please note this word, during oogonia, okay, and during the menstrual cycle, I'll be saying this, okay. Then myometrium. What is myometrium? Myometrium is the place where oxytocin and relaxin acts. Okay, myometrium is the place where oxytocin and then relaxin acts. Oxytocin is produced, not secreted, produced. Produced by the posterior pituitary. Okay, and it is secreted by hypothalamus. Okay, hypothalamus, and from hypothalamus, this is actually getting it. It is collecting it. Okay. So it is collecting it. Next is perimetrium, which is the outermost layer. Now we have completed this one, we have completed vagina, then we are going to cervix. Cervix is actually having two different openings. Okay, so the first opening, wait, whether I'll check whether it is visible in the diagram or not. See, this is what the opening is. Okay, this is what cervix is. Here you can see that this is the first opening, then this is the second opening. You can see that there are totally two different openings. So this is known as external OS. External OS, which is actually focusing towards the vagina. Okay, which is focusing towards the vagina. And then this is what the internal opening is, which is OS. OS now you can keep it as opening. Okay, so which is the internal OS. So yeah. Completed. Now we are having external genitalia. So external genitalia, what is external genitalia? Which is actually also known as vulva. This is the most outer layer. Okay, even vagina is actually inner than external genitalia. Okay, external genitalia is the most outer layer. Here you are having mons pubis, next the labia majora, then labio minora. Okay, labia majora, labio minora, then mons pubis. What is mons pubis? Okay, so mons pubis is actually a fatty tissue. Okay, this is the most outer layer. Okay, this is the most outer layer. Then you are having labia minora. Then you will be having labia majora. Sorry, labia majora is first. Next labia minora. Okay, so here you can see that first mons pubis. So mons pubis is actually a fatty tissue that is covered by the. So it is the most outer, which is covered by the skin and the pubic hair. Okay, it is covered by the pubic hair. Okay, so skin and then the pubic hair, which is the most outer. Then you are having labia majora. Okay, what is labia majora? It is actually a fleshy fold which is around the vaginal opening. Okay, which is around the vaginal opening, which is this. Okay, which is this. As I said that this diagram is having a lot of thing. Okay, next is labia majora. Next is labia minora, which is being folded and covered in the form of forkite. Okay, in the form of forkite. Forkite. Next is clitoris. Clitoris is the part where it will be expanding like the penis. Yeah, it will be expanding like the penis. Sorry. Yeah, it will be expanding like the penis. Okay, so it is actually highly sensitive, and also it is the erectile muscle, which is the highly sensitive and the erectile tissue. Okay. Lactation. Wait a second. Before that will be coming to histology of ovary. This diagram I have only drawn, and I think it is very good. For me, I am very satisfied with this diagram. Very much. Okay. So what is this histology of ovary? Please don't read this. This is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. Don't see this. During oogenesis, I'll be explaining very clearly, don't worry. Okay, so here you can see that this is actually oogunia. Okay, the first, see, first, wait, I will first explain very clearly. This is the outermost, this blue color thing you can see, right? This blue color, swing. This blue color curve is there, right? Okay, so this is actually is what known as the cuboidal epithelium, which is actually, as I said, that it is germinal epithelium, which is a misnomer. Okay, what is misnomer? I have written that misnomer. No, I have not written misnomer, but it is misnomer. Okay, what is misnomer? That means it is something where in olden days what they thought is, so since this from this tissue, okay, what they thought is this germinal epithelium is what full of it, okay, fully it is full of germinal epithelium, and this germinal epithelium is the one which is producing this ovum. Okay, this is not ovum, it is not ovum. I will be explaining that also. But till now, till our 10th standard, we have studied that this is ovum. I will say, okay, I will say, don't worry. Okay, so here what is it? Okay, so here it is. Okay, so this is the outermost layer, which is germinal epithelium. Okay, and it is made up of cuboidal epithelial cells. So that will be like cube. Okay, next little bit more inner layer. So little bit more inner layer is going to be tunica albuginea. See, tunica albuginea, the same thing that we have written. Okay, tunica albuginea. Tunica albuginea. And also coming to here, see. I said infundibulum, okay, fimbriae, okay, so fimbriae, then you are having infundibulum, okay, after fimbriae you are having infundibulum. Infundibulum is also present in brain. Infundibulum is also present in brain. Okay, so this is what our pituitary gland is. Intermediate, this is posterior, this is anterior. Okay, here you will be having thalamus. This is hypothalamus. Then you will be having here infundibulum. Infundibulum is also present in the brain for both male and female. Okay. Okay, so tunica albuginea. Okay, till now it will be here and there a little bit confusing only. Again, one more time, if you're watching the video, everything will be all clear 100%. Okay. See, okay, so then after this, still more inner now, then this layer, okay, then this total thing. In this total thing, I'm marking now, white color, this is what known as cortex, okay, cortex. Okay, then after that, here you are having this one, which is known as medulla. Okay, next, which is known as medulla. Okay, so which is known as medulla. Okay, now coming to cortex. First we will cover medulla. Okay, first we will cover medulla. See, medulla will be having blood vessels on Vipa. Okay, medulla will be having blood vessels and vascular tissues. Okay, next is see here I have written mesnomer. Okay, where no germ cells are being formed. Okay, see, actually, while birth itself, okay, this is one of the most important thing that you have to notice. That is oogenesis. That means gametogenesis for females is what known as oogenesis. Okay, the process by which secondary oocyte or by ovum is being formed is what known as we'll be saying as oogenesis. Female gametic cells are being formed. Okay. So here you can see that first it is actually known as oogunia. Okay, which is known as oogunia. Then after this there will be primary oocyte. There will be primary oocyte. Okay, this primary oocyte is being covered with a layer known as primordial follicle. primordial follicle. Wait a second. Okay, what is that? What did I say? Primordial follicle. Primordial follicle. Okay, so this primordial follicle then after that here you are having, okay, this primordial follicle, then it is actually converted into, okay, this primordial follicle which is here, you can see, okay, which will be converted, this primordial follicle will be converted into primary oocyte. Sorry, primary follicle, sorry, primary follicle. Oh. Okay, so by the way, in nomenclature of chemistry, organic compounds, this means primary. Okay, this means primary. This means secondary. Okay, so hereafter I will be writing like this only. Okay. So like this, which means primary. Okay, I cannot each and every time I cannot write primary. Lazy fellow I am. Okay, so here it is, primary follicle. Okay, and this primary follicle is actually made up of this primary follicle is actually made up of granulosa cells. Okay, granulosa cells. Now this is just one layer. Okay, this is the primary follicle which is made up of granulosa cell. That is just one layer. Now next, after this there will be secondary follicle. Okay, there will be secondary follicle with same primary oocyte. Primary oocyte is the inner cell, and for the protective layer you can keep it as or something. Okay, for that one, around that only you are having primordial follicle, likely to be a cover, or yeah, it is likely to be covered or an envelope. Okay, now which will be converted into primary follicle, then secondary follicle, then at last which is actually tertiary follicle. Okay, so primary to okay, so primary to, here you can see that primary to secondary, from secondary to tertiary, or also known as tertiary follicle, or also known as Graafian follicle. Many people don't know this, that tertiary follicle and Graafian follicle are the same thing. Okay, and everything that I'm saying is actually being concluded from the Google. Concluded in the sense I have checked everything with Google and everything is correct. Okay, that means actually not everything I checked was correct. I have checked a lot of things and I came to know that what I understood was wrong. Then now everything I'm giving as correct as possible. Okay, now next, what is there? Okay, so now this secondary follicle is there, right? That secondary follicle is actually made up of two different layers. Okay, first is theca, this theca folliculi. Okay, this capsule of secondary. See this primary oocyte from this primary oocyte is there, right? That has got this secondary follicle. That secondary follicle is also known as folliculi, theca folliculi. Okay, theca folliculi, because it has two follicles. Okay, it has two follicles. I think the word follicle itself is wrong. Follicles. Yeah, here it should be I. Folliculi is the plural form of follicle. Okay, it is both follicles and folliculi. Okay, next, see, theca folliculi is actually of two different layers, that is theca externa and then theca interna. Okay, theca externa and then theca interna. Okay, next, this will be converted into Graafian follicle, as I said, right? Okay, this will be converted into Graafian follicle. This Graafian follicle will be having, okay, so here this Graafian follicle will be having antrum, where antrum is the space. Okay, what space is that? See, it will be having cells. There's theca interna, theca externa, then it will be separated, then there will be a space between them. Okay, then so that space is actually filled with a fluid. Okay, with a fluid. That is known as antral fluid. Just like blaster fluid, it is also antral fluid. So it is filled with a fluid. Okay, so it is filled with a fluid. Okay, so this one, see, when a baby when a fetus is being formed, okay, when the zygote is being formed, then it is being converted into embryo, then from there this fetus, okay, so that fetus will be actually having this oogonia, then this primordial follicle only, okay, and during the time of birth, that will be converted into this oogonia, that will be converted into primary oocyte, okay, primary oocyte, which will be enveloped, okay, which will be having a primary oocyte, okay, and this primary oocyte will be having primordial follicle during the time of birth, or yeah, okay, primary. Okay, primordial follicle only. What I said was correct. It is not in our book, so there is no use of checking it. Okay. See, as I said that when the child is being given birth, okay, in that time it will be having 1 to 2, okay, totally there will be 1 million, okay, 1 million in each ovary. What 1 million? There will be totally primary oocyte, totally there will be 1 million in each ovary, okay. Then till that particular girl child attains puberty, okay, or menarche, there will be this process which is known as follicular asteresia, which is the degeneration of a large number of follicles, or degeneration of follicle is known as follicular asteresia. Okay, follicular asteresia. This will be taking place. And do you know how much follicles are being degenerated? About 60,000 to 80,000 of follicles. Sorry, not about degenerated. Lots of follicles are being degenerated. At last, only 60 to 80,000 of follicles will be remaining in each ovary. Then just imagine how much large number of follicles are being degenerated. Okay. Now coming back to here itself. Now. Okay, so then it will be becoming as Graafian follicle or tertiary follicle. Then that Graafian follicle or tertiary follicle, okay, will be giving us, okay, inside that Graafian or tertiary follicle, okay, inside that one only, okay, a primary oocyte will be converted into secondary oocyte. Okay, so here in these two places, primary oocyte is what there. The primary oocyte, and here only primary oocyte is converted into secondary oocyte. Okay, and now during the time of ovulation is the process by which secondary oocyte is being released. Okay, so ovum is not released during that menstrual cycle at all. Secondary oocyte is what released. Then what is ovum? Then what is ovum? How is ovum formed? Then what is ovum? We will discuss about that also. Okay. And also note one more thing, this primary oocyte, okay, when this primary oocyte is actually it is being converted to this, then also along with that, one small body with very less number of cytoplasm is formed, which is known as first polar body. Okay, which is known as first polar body. So totally here there will be 46 chromosomes. Okay, chromosomes. And note this, okay, this will be happening only after during the time of puberty. Okay, during the time of puberty only this will be taking place. Okay, before puberty only, whatever I said, that primordial follicle, then that primary follicle, okay, everything, okay, everything will be taking place. Okay, so this secondary oocyte is there. Okay, it will be formed along with the first polar body. This is 46N, it will be having 23N. This first polar body, this will be also having the 23N. Okay, then again what will be happening is, it will be this secondary oocyte is the thing that will be converted into ovum. Okay, and into second polar body. Now you will be having a question. I said that secondary oocyte is the thing that is being released after ovulation. Okay, then when will this be converted into ovum? While traveling in the fallopian tube? No, it will not be doing that. When sperm enters into the secondary oocyte, then the secondary oocyte will be, see, the secondary oocyte will be arrested in diplotin 1 of meiosis 1 of prophase 1. Okay, diplotin 1 of meiosis 1 of prophase 1, it will be arrested. That means it will be stopped like that itself. Okay, then when this sperm enters into the secondary oocyte, that total thing will be completed. Okay, that diplotin will be completed, that prophase will be completed, that meiosis 1 will be completed. Then we'll be giving you the product as, okay, 1 ovum, okay, and then what? Okay, 1 ovum and then what? Wait, primary oocyte, yeah. This is actually arrested at diplotin 1 of prophase 1 of meiosis 1, as I said. Primary oocyte is what arrested. Yeah, sorry. This metaphase 2 of prophase 2. See, this is actually the secondary oocyte is actually arrested at. Okay, the secondary oocyte is actually arrested at. Metaphase 2. Metaphase 2. Don't worry, in oogenesis I'll be saying everything very clearly without any problem, but we will just check. Okay, metaphase 2 of prophase 2. Okay, then this secondary oocyte, okay, this secondary oocyte or primary oocyte, yeah, then this primary oocyte is actually arrested at diplotin 1 of meiosis 1 of prophase 1. Sorry, wait. Diplotin 1 of meiosis 1. Wait. Prophase 1 of meiosis 1 of diplotin. Yeah, that one you have to say. Prophase. Of now it should be more superior. Okay. So first prophase 1 of meiosis 1 of diplotin 1. Like that only while you are saying, you have to say. Okay, it is being arrested in the stage of prophase 1 of meiosis 1 of diplotin 1. Okay. Now we will be going back, as we have lots of things to discuss. Okay, so now we have come into lactogenation. Okay, lactogenation. Sorry, lactation, not lactogenation. Lactation. Okay, see, in our book here and there like that they have given, but I have written everything together. Okay, so here this is the total place everything happens. Okay, starting from the hormonal changes to everything. Okay, so first is you will be checking about the histology again. We'll be going here. Okay, so first, okay, when you are checking about this, first lobule. Okay, first it will be primary lobule. Then it will be mammary. Wait, I will give you the image. Okay, so this is what you have to check. See here. See there that there is actually mammary lobules, then there is mammary tubules, then there is mammillary duct, then there is mammary ampulla, then we are having lactiferous duct, and at last we are having nipples. Same mammillary lobule, we are having alveoli, okay, then we are having duct, then we are having ampulla, then we are having lactiferous duct, Okay, see, first mammillary. Everything first has here mammillary. Then you will be having duct. Then at last you will be having nipple. Actually, duct is more likely to be a bigger one. Okay, lobules are like alveoli is when we lobules are smaller parts of alveoli, and duct means it's more big. Okay, here lactiferous duct, then the total everything. Okay, everything will be coming and will be forming a pipe-like structure. That is what we will be saying as lactiferous duct. Then coming to ampulla. Ampulla is something where when you are having many mammary duct, okay, many mammary duct are being connected together, then you will be having ampulla. When all the ampullas, okay, are being connected together, then you will be having lactiferous duct. Okay, so alveoli or lobules has to first connect. Okay, so alveoli or lobules, when they are being connected, then you will be having mammary duct, then you will be having ampulla. Okay, when mammary duct connects, then you will be having ampulla, then you will be having lactiferous duct. Okay, so lobule, then you are having here, see, here it is still more deeper one. Okay, see, you are having here lobule, tubule, duct, ampulla, then at last again duct. Okay, now we are coming to hormonal reactions. When estrogen and progesterone are reacting together, then we will be having mammary gland. Okay, when estrogen and progesterone are reacting together, we will be having mammary gland, and here we will be okay. So then after that, during pregnancy time, what happens is our placenta, okay, our placenta will be producing progesterone. Okay, then see, first estrogen and progesterone, which gives us secondary sexual, which gives girls secondary sexual organs. Okay, and that is going to be mammary gland. Okay, that is going to be mammary gland. Okay, next is coming to pregnancy time. During pregnancy time, progesterone will be secreted. Okay, it is being secreted by corpus luteum or graphene follicle. As I said that, okay, I said that corpus luteum and graphene follicle, right? Okay, so they secrete progesterone. Okay, that is before implantation. Okay, after implantation and after placentation, placenta is the thing that secretes. Okay, placenta also secretes okay, so placenta also secretes human placental lactogen, HPL. Okay, so placenta also secretes human placental lactogen, correct? Yeah, human placental lactogen. This is secreted by placenta. So that after the baby is being paturated, then milk will be produced. Okay, so this will be okay. See, during the pregnancy time, even though this placenta secretes HPL, actually it is readying. Okay, it is readying what? It is readying the breast to give milk to the baby. Okay, then during then actually, but the thing is, if this alone secretes without estrogen and progesterone, only this HPL secretes, then milk will start to produce. Okay, but since estrogen and the progesterone is secreted, okay, so that this is inhibiting prolactin. Okay, prolactin is very important. This is what one of the most primary thing. Okay, one of the most primary hormone that is responsible for the production of milk. Okay, see, this prolactin is secreted from the anterior. Okay, from the anterior, anterior pituitary. From the anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary produces prolactin. Then it will be we will be discussing. Okay, a lot of things is over there also. And here you are having duct, right? The space that is present between two mammary ducts is what known as sinus. The space that is present between two mammary ducts is what known as sinus. Okay, so coming to here, okay, after birth, what happens is this hypothalamus, okay, HPL hypothalamus will be giving command to the pituitary gland to both posterior and interior. See, lactation is the one place where both posterior and interior pituitary is taking part. So posterior pituitary will be producing oxytocin. Okay, this oxytocin produces paturation and also lactogenation. Okay, lactogenation. Oh, I am forgetting the pronunciation. Okay, during lactation. Actually, oxytocin's job is to contract muscles. Okay, see, during paturation, what happens is this relaxin will be secreted and oxytocin will be secreted. Relaxin is secreted from the ovary, and then oxytocin is secreted from the posterior. Okay, from the posterior pituitary gland, okay, from the posterior pituitary gland, so that this oxytocin, see, this will be actually helping in the contraction of muscles, okay, in the alveoli contraction, this oxytocin will be helping, and also during paturation this will be helping in the contraction of myometrium, okay, myometrium will be contracting, and it actually both contraction and relaxation should happen, then only the baby will be coming out from the uterus, okay. So for that, for relaxation, what requires is relaxin, which is secreted by the ovary, okay. For contraction, you will be females will be having oxytocin, okay. And by the way, oxytocin is not secreted by the posterior anterior, posterior by is not secreted by the posterior pituitary gland. It is actually hypothalamus is the thing that secretes this oxytocin, but this posterior thing that stores it, okay. This posterior stores this posterior what is this posterior pituitary gland stores it, okay. Then coming to anterior part will be producing prolactin, which is highly concentrated, okay, and then this will be responsible for the production of mammary gland. And many people have this misconception or this misnomer that milk is a blood, okay, milk is a form of blood, okay. They are saying that milk is secreted from the blood, okay. Blood is the thing that transforms into blood, milk, okay. This is not correct. Blood has essential and vital nutrient substances that is required for the milk's production, okay, but it is not like milk, blood is the thing that is being converted into milk. Everyone is saying that blood is a form of milk, okay. In villages it is a very common misconception. Next is, see, the first milk, okay, the milk that is produced in the first 24 hours is known as colostrum, which has high AGA protein, high AGA protein, which is very high, okay. And then actually this is something very important for the baby's health, so that baby will be growing very healthy. That is why colostrum in Tamil it is known as Simbal should be given to the baby, so that the baby will be very strong, okay. And also during the, okay, it can be both cesarean or it can be natural pasteurization, okay, when the baby is being taken out, in that time many doctors will cut this what is that, umbilical cord very soon. But if in case that is not happening, if in case the doctor is cutting that umbilical cord after 30 minutes, then what will be happening is that placenta will be having 30% of baby's blood. All those 30% of baby's blood will be actually going to the baby itself, and also the baby will be having less amount of iron only. This milk will be having less amount of iron only, and the baby wants iron for all those transportation of oxygen, all those things, and that placenta will be having some amount of iron in it, so that will also go to the baby itself. So during that time itself, okay, there will be lots of documents to be filled before going into a hospital, because if paturation happens very immediately, then they cannot ask shall we cut it or we shall not. In that time even there will be, okay, options amongst them, post umbilical cord cut, I think that is what the option name is. That's not in our book, okay. So that will be there. If mother chooses that, then they will be leaving the baby for half an hour without cutting the umbilical cord, okay. Here, yeah, sure. See here having 4%. Totally, this is actually 80%. This milk is filled with 80% of H2 and 20% of organic materials. This 20% of organic material is none other than IgA, iron, lactose, protein, fat, and minerals. Okay, IgA is lot in the colostrum. Okay, then iron will be very less. Okay, iron will be very less. Then also lactose will be high. Okay, lactose is what, 7%. Proteins is 1%. Then fat is 4%. Okay. So 12% is here itself. Okay, then IgA will be also taking up a small portion. Then also minerals will be taking up a portion. Okay, so we have completed this. Yeah, so now we are entering into gametogenesis. So before gametogenesis, we will go with menstrual cycle. I hope everything is clear from this part. Either I can move this, I cannot go like that. Okay, so that from here, if you are going to menstrual, then it will be alright. Then to gametogenesis we will go. Or first gametogenesis shall we go? Okay, so first gametogenesis even we will go. So hormonal reactions are there. So first is spermatogenesis we are having. Next we are having oogenesis. Please don't see this is wrong. Okay, I will say in a new page with very clear-cut explanation. wait. No, this is yeah, this is correct. Yeah, this is correct. Okay, but the next slide is what wrong. Okay. See, gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is the process by which gametes are being formed. Okay, so there are totally two different gametes in the human itself. One is sperm, then another is ovum. So the process by which sperm is being secreted or sperm is being produced is known as spermatogenesis, and the process by which ovum or secondary oocyte is being secreted or produced, not secreted, but produced, that is known as oogenesis. Okay, so see, maturation of primordial cells starts to happen as well. So spermatogenesis happens in male and oogenesis happens in female. Okay, so here during puberty only this starts, but here oogenesis is not like that. This is a discontinuous gametogenesis, or this is a discontinuous process because it happens during the fetal stage, then it passes during the childhood phase, then again it starts to happen after puberty, then again it stops. Okay, then again it stops after menopause. Okay, after menopause, it starts in the menarche. Okay, then it stops. Okay. Primarily it starts in the fetal stage itself. Okay, see, so hypothalamus is there. Hypothalamus will be having GnRH, which is gonadotropin releasing hormone. Gonadotropin releasing hormone. Gonadotropin releasing hormone. This is not a thing. See, this hormone is what responsible for releasing of these two hormones. Okay, this hormone will make this anterior pituitary gland to release FSH and LH. Okay, so this is a releasing hormone. Okay, so this is a stimulating hormone. Okay, inhibiting hormone and stimulating hormone, there are two types, right? So I'm saying this is a stimulating hormone which stimulates the production of FSH and LH. Okay, LH. Generally even there will be a minimum amount of FSH and LH produced. Okay, generally. That will be, but the amount that is being produced will be altering in the time, okay, in the time period, except in the pregnancy time. Okay, during pregnancy time, none of this will be produced. Okay, so during pregnancy time, those 12 months, okay, 12 months, 9 months now, 9 or 10 now, okay, 10 we will keep, approximately 10 months, along with that also 6 months, okay, along with that also 6 months, so totally 16 months this will not happen, average, for average people. For those whose uterus has got, for those whose uterus has got very weak, okay, for them the 6 months will be there, but if in case the uterus is not that much weakened because of paturation, then this 6 months of time period will not be there. Okay, for many people this menstrual cycle will start, not for many people, for some people the menstrual cycle will start very soon, okay, after paturation itself. Okay, so coming to FSH and then LH, but according to our book data, 6 months of time is there. Okay, 6 months of time is there after paturation. This menstrual cycle will not happen. I will say what is menstrual cycle, all those things is. Okay, see, anterior pituitary gland, then you are having in anterior pituitary gland itself, because of this GnRH which is produced by the hypothalamus, okay, it will be producing FSH and then LH. FSH is the follicular stimulating hormone, LH is the luteinizing hormone. Okay, so this follicular stimulating hormones will be acting on substentacular cells, which are none other than as Sertoli cells. What are Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells are the cells which will be providing nutrients to the male gamete cells, okay, and male gamete cells, male germ cells, which will be producing nutrients to the male germ cells. Okay, male germ cells and as well as Sertoli cells are present inside the seminiferous tubule. Leydig cells, are also known as interstitial cells, are present outside the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so here you can see that this FSH will be acting on substentacular or Sertoli cells, this LH will be acting on Leydig cells, and this Leydig cell will be producing testosterone. Okay, this Leydig cell will be producing testosterone, which is responsible for the secondary sexual characters in male. Okay, in the secondary sexual characters, secondary sexual organ, like beard, like that at all. Okay, for that it is responsible. Okay, so coming to Sertoli cells are also known as substentacular cells. Okay, it will be producing ABP, which is adenogen binding protein. Okay, what is adenogen binding protein? Okay, it is a protein that is responsible for the protection of spermatogenesis. Okay, for spermatogenesis, and also along with that it is producing all some other things like anti-Mullerian factor will be producing, then the sperm fertility factor also will be producing. So it produces two different factors. This is not at all in our book. So it produces two factors, which are anti-Mullerian factor. This is produced, anti-Mullerian factor is produced in the female. Okay, and this is what responsible for the femaleness. Okay, and then there is also sperm fertility factor, which is produced in the male and which is responsible for the fertility of the male. Okay, fertility of the male or fertility of the sperms. Okay, so that is what sperm fertility factor. Okay, so coming to ABP, which is androgen binding protein. This androgen okay, so this androgen binding protein is there, right? This will be acting in the seminiferous tubule because this sertoli cell is inside the seminiferous tubule, and it will be giving command to the spermatogonial cell or male germ cell, okay, to produce sperms, okay, to produce sperms. Okay, so this is process, okay, so this process is what known as spermatogenesis. Okay, so this is what is happening. Coming to here in oogenesis, what happens is actually this fetal time itself, there will be this, okay, the start, okay, start. What will be starting? This total oogenesis process will be starting, okay, and during the time of paturation, after the infant, okay, the girl infant will be actually having 1 million, okay, in each ovary. Then during the time of puberty, that girl child will be having at least 60 to 80,000 of primary oocytes. Okay, primary oocytes. Okay, by follicular asthenesia, everything will be degenerated. See, now again GnRH will be producing FSH and then LH, where this FSH and then LH will be acting. This FSH will be acting on follicles. Okay, follicular stimulating hormone, because this stimulates the follicle. Okay, follicles in the sense what, the follicle which we have read, right? Okay, so it stimulates the follicle to produce, okay, so to evolve, okay, from follicles to from the primary follicle to the tertiary follicle. It will be stimulating the follicle to evolve. Okay, and LH is the luteinizing hormone. Okay, so this acts on the corpus. Okay, so corpus luteum. Oh, okay. See, corpus luteum is the thing that produces progesterone. Corpus luteum is the thing that produces progesterone. Follicle is the thing that produces follicles. Secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, or also secondary follicle. Okay, these two follicles is the thing that will be producing estrogen. Okay, so corpus luteum produces progesterone. See, I have written here oppositely, but sorry, don't take it. Okay, now both progesterone and estrogen, as well as LH and FSH, all these hormones will be combining, will be actually rising. Okay, except progesterone. Okay, you can leave progesterone, estrogen, all these. Okay, all these, and also while writing, you write also. This takes place, okay, this progesterone also takes place during ovulation. Okay, everything will be having a surge, a sudden surge. That means all the hormones will be increasing during the time of ovulation, which will be 14 days from the menstrual flow. Okay, menstrual flow, the blood will be coming out of the vagina, right? That is what known as menstrual flow. From that, exactly 14 days later, then the ovum will be produced. The secondary oocyte will be produced in the ovary. Okay, will be produced in the ovary. Now, progesterone is there. Okay, so progesterone will be having endometrial development. Estrogen is having secondary sex character. Okay, progesterone is having endometrial development. Estrogen is there, that will be producing secondary sex characters. Okay, endometrial development is also done by estrogen. Okay, is also done by estrogen. See, before ovulation, estrogen is the thing that is taking place. Okay, before ovulation, estrogen is the thing that does this endometrial development. After ovulation, progesterone is the thing that does this endometrial development. Their phone is on. Yep, and I'm talking for 1 hour 40 minutes continuously. Oh. Now coming, this is what wrong. Okay, this is what wrong. Please don't check this. Okay, actually when I was reading, I have read this wrongly. Because of that, I have lost 2 marks. But that won't happen to you all. Have corrected this. Okay, so I have corrected this. Here, this is all correct. Okay, spermatogenesis. Okay, this is all correct. See, spermatogonia and male germ cells are equal. See, not only here, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, then human reproduction. We will be having lots of names, lots and lots of names. For an example, microspore mother cell. Microspore mother cell you will be having, which is also known as potential pollen. Like that, this has lots of names. Okay, during there I will see, even there also I've got lots of things that we have to discuss. Okay, other than NCERT, many things are there to discuss. More than here, we will be discussing there a lot. Okay. So now is spermatogonia. Spermatogonia is equal to male germ cells. Okay, so spermatogonia is equal to male germ cells. So what are male germ cells? Male germ cells are those which produces sperms. Okay, at last we'll be having spermatozoa, or also known as sperms. Okay, or also known as sperms. Okay, see here spermatogonia, which will be actually several divisions. Okay, after several divisions and after differentiation, okay, this will be converted into primary oocyte. Okay, this will be converted into primary oocyte with the help of ABP, which is adenogen binding protein, and the testosterone. Okay, and the testosterone. Okay, after several divisions, then after several after several divisions and after several differentiation, this will be converted into primary oocyte. And note this one point, that this spermatogonia is also 2NN condition, and this primary oocyte is also 2NN condition. These two are 2NN condition. Okay, so this primary oocyte will be converted into, okay, again by meiosis 1. Okay, by meiosis 1. Okay, by meiosis 1. See, meiosis is actually of two steps. Okay, it is not just one step like mitosis. See, for mitosis, which is also known as equational division, this is actually reductional division. Okay, see, for this one, what will be happening is just one will be converted into two. Okay, one will be converted into two, just like that will be converted into two. Okay, no problem with here. Okay, but here, okay, but for the process of meiosis, it's not like that. Okay, for the process of meiosis, not like that. Okay, first meiosis 1 will be happening. Meiosis 1 will be happening, where here one cell just like that will be divided. Okay, just like that will be divided. That means if here anything is there, like 26 is there. Now for an example I'm saying, not in humans. Okay, I'll take 46 is there. 46 is there, and then that will be converted into here 23, here also 23. Whatever the amount of chromosome is here, that will be reducted to the half. Okay, to half. Then here meiosis 2 will be happening. Okay, meiosis 2 will be happening, which will be giving you the same amount of chromosomes only, because here this will be multiplying. Okay, this will be multiplying and it will be giving you meiosis 2. Okay, meiosis 2. What is meiosis 2? Meiosis 2. So this will be giving you 2, and here also 2. So which is 23, 23, 23, 23, 23. Totally 423. So when meiosis, this total meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 is what generally called as meiosis. Okay, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 in the combination is what generally called as meiosis. So if one cell undergoes meiosis, then it will be producing 4 offsprings. Okay, one cell will be producing 4 offsprings in the process of meiosis. Okay, look at here. Okay, so see spermatogonia, which will be going several divisions, and differentiation, as I said, it will be forming spermatocyte. So this will be forming one spermatocyte. Okay, we'll be giving you 4 spermatids. Okay, spermatids. Where each spermatid will be differentiated, will be matured. Okay, and that differentiation and that maturation is what known as spermiogenesis. Okay, so here you will be having 4 spermatozoa. Okay, here you will be having, so that means one spermatocyte will be giving you 4 spermatozoa. Okay, that is what even I checked in Google. Okay, see here, first meiosis 1 takes place. So as I said that meiosis, if in case a cell is undergoing meiosis, then that means it will be forming 4 different products, right? So here spermatocyte, primary spermatocyte is the thing that is undergoing meiosis. So it is going to form first what it is going to form? It is going to form 2 reduction cells. Okay, so that is not known as secondary spermatocyte, and then another secondary spermatocyte. Then again it is going to go meiosis 2, and it is going to form. Okay, so this one is going to form 2 cells. Okay, 2 cells, and here also this one is going to form 2 cells. Okay, so at last you'll be having 4 cells. Okay, at last you'll be having 4 cells. Okay, and these 4 cells will be matured. Okay, and these all 4 cells are what known as spermatids. Okay, these 4 cells are what known as spermatids, and they will be making spermatozoa. They will be actually spermatozoa. Okay, there will be spermatozoa by spermiogenesis. Okay, so this total process is what known as spermatogenesis, and this process is what known as spermiogenesis. Okay. Now coming to next is oogenesis. Okay. Please know this, very very important. First you'll be having oogonia. Okay, so you'll be having what? You'll be having oogonia. Okay, I'll write in a different new page itself. So oogenesis. So first what you're having, first what cell you're having, you're going to have oogonia. Okay, you are going to have oogonia. I hope it is visible. Okay, I will check. Yep. Okay, now everything should be visible. So this oogonia will be enveloped. Okay, will be enveloped. Okay, it also has an envelope. Okay, and here it is being enveloped by two different envelopes. Okay, and those two are nuclear membrane. Okay, those two are nuclear membrane. Okay. Okay. What I checked it. It is correctly. Now next, what will be happening is this oogonia. Okay. This oogonia will be converted. Okay. Next, it will be converted into primary. Okay. Wait. This will be converted into primary oocyte. Okay, primary oocyte. In this process of conversion, here this will be having, okay, here this will be having as an envelope of, okay, this will be having an envelope which is called as primary follicle. Yeah, primary follicle. Okay, but in between this, okay, this primary follicle, okay, in between this primary follicle, okay, this one will be, this one will be also having primordial follicle. Primordial follicle. Okay, primordial follicle, or we can also say like this. Okay, so primordial follicle. Now this primordial follicle, okay, now this primordial follicle will be converted into secondary follicle. Okay, then again into tertiary follicle. Or Graafian follicle. Okay, or Graafian follicle. Okay, and this is the place. Okay, and this is the place and then this is the place where primary oocyte is converted into secondary oocyte. There is a cat shouting outside. Into secondary oocyte. And then the envelope of the secondary oocyte is what actually? This is this tertiary follicle or Graafian follicle. Okay. Now ovulation will be happening. Okay. Now ovulation will be happening. Okay. Wait a second. So when it is being formed, okay, when it is being formed, along with that, also one polar body will be formed. Okay, so along with that, first polar body will be also formed. Okay, so now this will be arrested in, as I said, that diplotin 1 of meiosis 1 of, okay, so this will be arrested in diplotin 1 of meiosis 1 of prophase 1. This will be arrested in meiosis 2 of, okay, in meiosis 2 of metaphase 2. Okay, now what will be happening is, now if the sperm comes in, okay, wait, we will see sperm structure separately. Okay, if the sperm comes in, then this total thing will be completed. Okay, the secondary oocyte, this arrested stage will be completed. Then what will be converted is, this will be converted into ovum, and then along with ovum, okay, so secondary oocyte is there, right? So this secondary oocyte will be converted into what? Into ovum, then second polar body. Okay, this ovum will be enveloped by few layers. Okay, so that will be separately seen in the ovum thing itself. Okay, in ovum even will be seeing there. We have to see acrosomal reaction in sperm, then cortical reaction. Okay, all these we'll be seeing. So, okay, so this also will be enveloped. Okay, this envelope is there, and this envelope we will be seeing here. Primary follicle, it will be having granulosa. This will be having theca externa, theca interna, and then this will be having nothing. This will be having antrum. Antral fluid. This will be having layers. Okay, corona radiata will be having, then perivitelline space, perivitelline membrane will be having, then also plasma membrane will be having. Okay, so this is all we are going to see. Okay, now going to different phases. From oogenesis to mitosis, actually this oogunia is there, right? Okay, so this one. Okay, here for an example, if here it is single celled. Okay, if here it is single celled. Okay, then what will be happening is it will be multiplying into lots of cells. Okay, it will be multiplying into lots of cells. Okay, then after that, this will be converted into primary oocyte. Then it will be converted into primary oocyte. Okay, so here, okay, after this primary oocyte, this primary oocyte itself will be this primary oocyte will be actually becoming bigger still. If in case here the cell is this size, then here will be this size. Okay, lot more bigger. Okay, and not for us, okay, not for humans, but for other organisms, here the process called as vitellogenesis. Not for humans, for other organisms, process called as for lysical, any animal that has yolk sac, okay, for them vitellogenesis will be happening. Okay, okay, so vitellogenesis will be happening not for us, for other organisms vitellogenesis will be happening. I don't know the spelling is correct or not, so you can check it in Google. Okay, so vitellogenesis will be happening. So this is what known as growth. Okay, here it will be growing. Then after that there will be pause. Okay, because here it will be childhood. Okay, here it will be childhood. Here it will be completely in the fetal stage. Here will be childhood. Nothing will be happening in childhood. Then during the puberty, everything will be happening. Okay, puberty here even will be ending. If in case fertilization happens, that means if in case the female is involved in coitus, then what will be happening is, then this secondary oocyte will be converted into ovum. Then the fertilization will be happening. Here sperm will be fusing. Okay, this is not, this is like genie. Okay, so now we will be discussing about growth phase, all those phases. But I thought there will be space. Okay, but I thought there will be space. Then this will be primary oocyte, then here will be growing, then it will be forming one secondary oocyte, then one small polar body, then this will be again forming one ovum, and then also you will be getting, okay, another second polar body, and these two will be very small in size, and then here will be 2n. Okay, primary oocyte will be 2n, then secondary oocyte will be n, then this ovum will be also n. Okay. Okay. So this oogonia is there, right? This oogonia will be 2n in condition. Okay, and then this is primary oocyte will be also 2n in condition, because here mitosis is happening. Here mitosis is happening. Okay, here it is growing. Okay, here it is. Okay, from here to here, totally it is multiplying. Okay, from here to here. Okay, here it is multiplying. Okay, so here it is growing, here it is multiplying, and then this thing, okay, here it is growing and here it is multiplying, and then here it is maturing. Okay, here it is maturing. Okay, here also the same maturation only. Here also this will be also coming under maturation only. Or wait a second, I have an idea. Yeah, so here mitosis is happening. Okay, maturing all we will be seeing now. Okay, here we'll be having, here they will be growing, here nothing is happening, here growing. Okay, then here, okay, here what happens is, here meiosis. Okay, here meiosis 1.
And here what happens is, here meiosis too.
Okay, everything is alright, I think. Yeah, everything is alright. So I will just cover all these meiosis, mitosis along with the color. Okay, so this one, okay. Okay, everything is alright. Now we will be going to phases. Okay, now we will be going to phases. First, I'll say from where to where fetal stage. Okay, so exactly here. Okay, uh, uh, no. Okay, so there to there one is there. Then next is childhood. Childhood, nothing is happening. Childhood, it is all just simple shapes. Okay, so this particular part is where childhood is. Childhood. And then here it is fetal. Then here what is happening? Here it is actually puberty. Okay, puberty time, or also reproductive phase. Okay, reproductive phase. Okay, now next is growing one. Okay, so wait, or see, this is where multiplication phase. That means from here to here it is multiplication. From here to here it is okay. Here it is multiplication. Okay, then here it is growing. Okay, here nothing is happening, you cannot write there anything. So here to here, completely from here to here. Okay, from here to here, that means also along with this area to this area. Okay, here it is completely maturation. Okay, here completely it is maturation. So multiplication, growing and maturation. Multiplication, growing and maturation. Okay, yeah, so we have seen everything. And also see this fetal phase is there, right? The fetal phase is actually a part where both growing and multiplication happens. Okay, where both growing and multiplication happens. So we can write it like this. Fetal phase is equal to multiplication phase plus growing phase Okay, then maturation is equal to childhood plus reproductive phase. Maturation. Okay. Now we are going to dive into next one, which is very easy and very interesting. Now ovum's structure we are going to. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so now we are going to see structure of ovum. See, well, this is not a book. This is not our NCRT book. what can I say? This is not our NCERT book diagram. Okay, so please don't get confused with that one and this one. Okay, so this one is more likely to be the real one. See how disgusting is the diagram, that is the real diagram. If a diagram is very disgusting, then that is the real diagram. Okay, or if a diagram is very undifferentiated, then that is the diagram, that is the real diagram. Okay, so this is what the corona radiata, like in our book. Okay, like in our book, that how they have given that it will be like mushroom, right? Like this it won't be, it will be like this only. Okay, so you can see that it is full of cells. Here it is full of cells, and then okay, so here it is what, it is full of cells, and these cells are what known as, okay, these cells are what known as corona radiata. Okay, and these cells are actually follicle cells. I said that primary follicle, secondary follicle, all those, right? So from that, okay, these corona radiata cells are actually none other than follicle cells. Okay, so here when you are going still more, little bit more in depth, then you will be having a space. Okay, then you will be having another layer. Okay, then you will be having another layer. Yeah, so that layer is this one, this layer, this light green layer. Okay, so this layer is what known as zona pellucida. Okay, zona pellucida, and then there will be, okay, here in this, here it will be full of vacuum, nothing will be there. Okay, it will be just a space, and that space is what known as perivitelline space. Okay, and next after that there will be a membrane. This is known as vitelline membrane, or also known as plasma membrane. Okay, vitelline membrane, or also known as plasma membrane. And after that, inside here you can see that cytoplasm is only this much. Okay, very small amount of cytoplasm only will be present, and a large amount, okay, and a large amount of cytoplasm, okay, and a large amount of cytoplasm will be gone. Okay, it will be all gone. So here we will be having only small amount of cytoplasm, and large amount will be full of genetic material. Okay, it will be full of genetic material. Okay, because in the first polar body and in the second polar body only cytoplasm is there. Okay, little bit amount of cytoplasm is there, no genetic material is there. Okay, but here it is not like that. Here only in both first and second polar body, genetic material, they don't have genetic material at all. The genetic material which they should have is here. Okay, so here that is something like a waste. Okay, first and second polar body. Okay, so here you will be having, they will be having some amount, very minute amount of genetic material. Maybe they might have very minute. Okay, so this is full of genetic material. Here you can see that, okay, this layer, okay, this thread like thing is there, right? This is known as nucleus. Okay, this is what actually nucleus. And inside this is highly condensed. Okay, here there is highly condensed genetic material which is known as nucleolus. Okay, so here this total thing, okay, here this total thing is what nucleus. Here inside that there will be nucleolus. Okay, which total thing is genetic material only. This is what cross section. Okay. Now imagine that there is a sperm. Okay, that there is a sperm. Okay, so there is a sperm. From sperm only its nucleus. Okay, from sperm's nucleus. Okay, that means only this head part will be going in. Okay, so the particular time, okay, so the particular time when it is going, right, then there in that time fertilization cone will be produced. That means if this is what sperm is, if this is what sperm is, for an example, keep this. Okay, then this is what ovum is. So in that particular time, what will be happening is this ovum will be having, okay, this ovum will be having an outgrowth. It will be having an outgrowth like this, okay, which will be cone-like structure. By using this only, the sperm will be going in, and it will be going to the cytoplasm. Okay, then it will be going to the cytoplasm. Then after that, it will be going to the, okay, then after that, okay, after going to the cytoplasm, then you can see also here this is all cytoplasm. Here this is all cytoplasm. Okay, it has cytoplasm. Okay, comparatively with all polar bodies, this has large amount of cytoplasm only. Okay, but more than that, genetic material is more high. Okay, it's very high. Okay, so it will be directed to the cytoplasm of the cell. Okay, this is all cytoplasm. Okay,
So it will be going in, and then from there it will be going inside the genetic material. And the thing is, here tail will not enter. Okay, tail will not go inside. Only the genetic material will be entering. Okay, only the genetic material will be entering. Okay, so only the genetic material will be entering. So other than this, any other thing? That's it. Okay, now we are going to see about sperm. Here we have sperm. See, actually this is the most detailed thing that I can ever get. Okay, so that is, see, the sperm, total sperm can be classified into a few parts. First is head, next is neck, next is body, then next is tail. So totally there are 4 parts. Okay, so totally there are 4 parts. So sperm can be classified into 4 parts. What are these? Head, neck, main body, tail. Okay, head, neck, main body, and then the tail. Okay, see, this neck, this head is there, right? That is what very important. That is what going to enter inside there. Okay, so here this head, okay, in the topmost layer will be having a protective layer that is known as acrosome. Okay, because in uterus, what will be happening is the uterus cells will be thinking that these sperms are other body cells. Okay, that means these are something that will be causing damage to them. So phagocytosis will be stimulated. Phagocytosis will be stimulated. Phagocytosis will be stimulated. So in order to escape from that phagocytosis, there will be a layer. Okay, there will be a layer which is actually acrosomal layer. Okay, this is acrosome, and it will be having lysins. Okay, lysins material. What is lysin? It is what known as suicidal sac, right? Okay, whenever a cell organelle is being damaged, lysosomes. Sorry. Lysosomes, not lysin. Okay, lysosomes. Okay, lysosome. From lysosome, it will be having lysosomal enzymes. Okay, lysosome is what known as suicidal sac. Okay, when a cell organelle is being damaged, this lysosome will be going there and will be burst. Okay, it will be busted. Then what will be happening? Everything will be nothing. Okay, nothing will be there. So that is what this acrosome. Then inside that, this genetic material, this nucleus is there. This is what very important. This is what should be fusing into the female genital tract. Okay, sorry. This is what should be fusing into the ovum. Then there will be centriole. Okay, then there is this centriole. Then mitochondria is there. What is mitochondria? Mitochondria is the energy house of the cell. Okay, so there will be lots of mitochondria. See, lots of mitochondria. Lots and lots of mitochondria are there, and these mitochondria are those which are responsible for the production of energy for the sperm. Okay, then there will be terminal disc. Here you can see that there is terminal disc. Okay, so then after that you can see that this is actually plasma membrane. Okay, this is actually plasma membrane. Then there is actually tail. You can see that it is the tail. Okay, and then this tail, even you can see that this thin line. Okay, this thin line is going. Okay, this thin line. Okay, this is what known as axial filament. Okay, so this thin line is what known as axial filament, and then at last you'll be having these end piece, right? This is what known as end piece. This is what known as end piece. Okay, actually in our book still more little bit good. That means here also they have given. Okay, here also there is a protective layer like they have given. Okay, a V shape. Downwards one V shape, upwards one V shape, center there will be. In our book they have given like that. Okay, so now we are going to enter into phagocytosis. Sorry, reactions. Okay, reactions. So the first reaction is going to be acrosomal reaction. Okay, so in acrosomal reaction itself, actually, see, what is this reaction? This is the chemicals. Okay, chemicals. What are chemicals? Lysosomal enzymes. Okay, lysosomal enzymes. Lysosomal enzyme. So lysosomal enzymes, which are chemicals, okay. Oh, this handwriting is good. Okay, so I'll use pencil even then. Okay, lysosomal enzymes will create a pathway for sperms. For the nucleus, I can say. Okay, for nucleus. Actually, lysosomes or lysins. Okay, lysin cells. Lysin cells. Cells are lysins only. Lysins. Okay, lysins. Okay, see, the chemicals that are used are called lysins. The chemicals, not only here, actually the cell is not, the cell is actually lysosome only. The chemicals which are being used. So here I can use that, I can say that this chemical is what known as lysin. Okay, lysin. Okay, so the chemical is what known as lysin. Then see, actually there are totally three pathway for the nucleus of the sperm, pathway for the nucleus of the sperm. So the blockage, okay, so there will be a blockage. Those blockages are corona radiata, then the zona pellucida, then perivitline. Okay, so then just zona pellucida, then corona radiata, then hydrolyze. That is actually hydrolyze is for other obstacles. Okay, so first is hydrolyze. Hyaluronidase. Okay, hyaluronidase. Okay, so then after that, corona radiata. Then zona lysin or acrosin. Okay, so hyaluronidase. So what is hyaluronidase? It is the ground substance it is actually for acting on a ground substances, and this one to penetrate through corona radiata. Penetrate through, or wait, this is just to enter through corona radiata. Okay, enter through corona radiata. Here also it is to enter through. Okay, enter through. Okay, through zona pellucida. See, so zona pellucida. And for this, opt pH should be there. Opt pH should be there, and also temperature should be opt. Okay, so now we are going to see cortical reactions. Cortical reactions. Cortical reaction is actually just depolarization. Okay. So what is cortical reaction? It is just see, only one sperm should enter through the ovum. Okay, only one sperm should enter into the ovum and should be fused with the nucleus. Okay, but if in case two enters, then what will we do? Since millions and millions and millions of sperms is being produced, then what can we do? So that when one sperm enters into this, okay, when one sperm's head enters into this ovum, then what will be happening is this ovum will be developing such a membrane where no other sperm can enter. Okay, where no other sperm can enter. Hardly. And it happens because of, okay, for that very important things, okay, very important things are calcium ions concentration. Okay, calcium ion concentration is very important because see, whenever you are seeing calcium, then automatically you have to bring to your brain that it is polarization. Okay, depolarization happens. Happens. Okay, so depolarization happens. There will be cortical granules in the cytoplasm. Okay, in the cytoplasm, there will be cortical granules. Okay, so it's very sweaty here. So cortical granules will be there in the cytoplasm. Okay, so that is beneath the cytoplasm, and then see